Do you want to know about the time I ended up in the most amount of trouble I'd ever been in my entire life? Many years ago, I was 8 or 9, and my dad, he started dropping me off at my cousin's on a Friday afternoon for a sleepover. When he came and picked me up on a Saturday afternoon, he was like a completely different person, laughing, cracking jokes. I even caught him singing and dancing in the kitchen. And if you knew my dad, you'd know how unlikely that was. I had no idea why he was so happy. But eventually he told me. He started dating somebody. And he asked me if it would be okay if her and her son could come over at the weekend to meet me. Now, I'd seen enough family movies to know that this probably wasn't good. The single parent falls madly in love with the stranger. The stranger turns out to be the most evilest fucking person in the whole world. The stranger hates the kid. Not only that, the stranger just wants to marry the kid's single parent so she can get into the house and steal all the family inheritance and heirlooms and all that shit. Anyway, the night before they came, I couldn't sleep. I was worried about what this evil woman might be like. I'd imagine she was a witch. Tall, dark hair, long black dress, and a kid. Gross fat bully of a kid. Well, they were always like that in the movies, weren't they? But how did these movies always resolve themselves? With a series of booby traps expertly executed by the kid. So, in an effort to scare this woman off and to stop her from stealing my dad from me, I decided to make my own booby trap. My bedroom window was directly over the front door. Perfect place to put a bucket on the window and just push it out all over this evil woman before she even had a chance to get into the house. That night, I crept around the house filling a bucket full of the most nastiest, disgusting gunk I could find. Oil, paint, washing up liquid, used cat litter, anything in the fridge, rotten cheese, and I topped it up with a bit of spit and my own piss, and I mixed it all together, and I placed this bucket ready on the windowsill just behind the curtain, and I opened the window. It was ready to push this nasty bucket of gunk all over this evil woman and her grotesque kid before they could even get into the house. So I waited and waited outside that window, waiting for them to arrive. And you know what? They didn't look evil at all. They looked more scared and nervous than my dad. And my dad had been nervously faffing around all morning. God, then suddenly she looked up and saw me, smiled and waved. A nice smile, a gentle smile. She looked just like any of my mates' mums, and her son, well, he looked smaller and younger than me anyway. But I figured this might all be part of a cunning plan to deceive me. But at least I should give them the benefit of the doubt. I could always dump the bucket of doom on top of them when they left if they were horrible. She, Emma, turned out to be super nice and funny, and my dad turned into this whole other person again. Funny, smiley, giggly, happy. My mum died when I was 3, and to be honest, I hardly knew her. Pretty much my whole life it had just been me and my dad. He was the greatest dad of all. Pretty much my best friend. And another reason not to let this Emma, this evil woman, come into our lives and ruin everything. But until he'd met Emma, I'd only seen him as being happy. And I realised that actually he was always really rather sad and just an unhappy person. It was nice to see him smile again, I guess. Anyway, after they left, my dad asked me whether we could meet up with them again. Fine by me, I said. That evening, I was in the lounge watching TV, playing games, and I suddenly heard my dad shout from upstairs, "Sharon, what the hell is in this bucket?" Oops, I'd forgotten all about the bucket on the windowsill. He'd been in my bedroom closing my curtains and the bucket had tipped over, all over him, and the contents spilled onto the carpet. Oh, boy, was he an angry dad. Never been in so much trouble in my life since. Emma became my stepmom, which was fine. I don't know what happened to the son, Simon. But that stain on the carpet from the bucket, it's still there.